Welcome to the Local Real Estate Show. Join us each week as we hear from local real estate professionals from around the country. We'll hear their stories, get their advice on the current market trends to the best ways to get the most out of your real estate purchases, sales, or investments. Whether you're just getting started and buying your first home or you are a seasoned real estate investor, there's something here for everyone. So buckle up and get ready to hear from the people who know the real estate industry the best. Now your host, Steve Champagne.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show, the Local Real Estate Show. I have a very special guest today. I have Lori Blad from Absolute Realty. Welcome to the show, Lori.
Thank you, Steve. I'm so excited to be here.
Glad to have you on. All right, so let's get right into it. Why don't you give me a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah. Well, I live in Argyle,
Okay.
Texas,
Okay.
about 15 minutes from where I grew up in
Okay.
Denton. I always like to qualify that with I have left.
Okay.
We've I left for college. I've lived overseas with my family.
Hmm.
But we always kind of seem to find our way back to this area. We just love this area, and I've got twin daughters who are in college. This is their first year in college, and I'm in my sixth year of real estate here locally.
Fantastic. Okay, so let me ask you, why did you become a real estate agent?
I have just always loved real estate. The potential of the upside, growing your equity in a
Okay.
home that you love just has always made me really excited. We've bought and sold several times, leveraging that equity, and
Hmm.
um, it's, I think, just a fun way to grow wealth and something that we all need. We all need a roof over our head, right?
Hmm. So you really look at real estate as an investment, and you want to share that strategy with as many people as you can. That's what I just heard.
Yeah, in a very,
Okay.
very personal way, right? Because it's
Yep.
the balance of it's your home, so you want to love
Hmm.
it. It needs to fit what you need for that time in your life.
Hmm.
Excuse me. But at the same time, it's your biggest wealth tool. It's the where you put the most money
Hmm.
when you buy it and when you take care of it. And it's, historically, real estate is always increasing in value.
Hmm. Okay, so you do real estate in the Argyle North Lake area. Can you tell me a little bit about that community?
Yeah, so I feel like we have this amazing little pocket that's kind of a hidden gem.
Yep.
It's not so hidden as it used to be because it's bigger than it used to be. It's growing,
Hmm.
but it's a beautiful area. It's, to me, kind of the perfect balance of suburban and rural
Hmm.
because it's small-ish.
Hmm.
Um, we don't have a grocery store.
Okay.
But we're only about 20 minutes from just about anything you need. You can go to Denton, Flower Mound, Fort
Hmm.
Worth. We're so close to so many things.
Hmm.
So it's nice and quiet. It's super safe. We have fantastic schools
Hmm.
and great people. We have amazing people in Argyle and North Lake.
Okay.
I love it.
So why don't we talk a little bit about the real estate market in Argyle and North
Mm.
Lake? What is that like right now?
Yeah, so it's interesting. There's a lot happening within the industry right now, but I will say there's
Hmm.
always opportunity.
Hmm.
And right now in Argyle and North Lake,
Hmm.
very specifically, there is a ton of building.
Hmm.
And so if you come in and work with a builder, there's some amazing potential to get in with some really great prices, amazing rates, better rates than
Hmm.
anybody else can offer without putting 20,000 towards buying your rate down.
Hmm.
Um, and well, in addition to all the building and stuff, there's still people coming, and
Hmm.
so you still can sell if you need to sell.
Okay.
It's more quiet right now than it has been the last few years, but we still are seeing some really healthy movement in our
Okay.
area.
Very
Yeah.
good. All right. So I have some questions we're going to dive into here shortly for home buyers and sellers. But before we get into that, um, you're a real estate agent and you're also a realtor. Can you tell me the difference between a real estate agent and a realtor and why you should use one over the other?
Yeah, so a realtor is someone who has paid to be part of a professional organization, and it
Mhm.
does hold you to a higher standard. A real
Okay.
estate agent is someone who has their license.
Okay.
It's if you haven't taken that step to join the Realtor Association,
Mhm.
then it's maybe a sign that it's not really a profession for that
Mhm.
individual. It's more of a hobby. They may be doing it just they have their license to do their own deals or what
Ah,
have you. There are a lot of people who have their license, um, for many alternative reasons aside from it's their profession.
okay, so possibly an investor that wants to, buy and, save on the real estate commissions, which we'll talk a little bit about here
Yeah,
in a minute. All right,
yeah.
so let's dive into some frequently asked questions around purchasing a home, okay?
Okay.
Um, and a question that you probably get is, do I really need a real estate agent to buy a home?
Mm. So technically, no.
Okay.
And even, I've just talked about builders. It's
Mhm.
very easy to walk into a builder's
Mhm.
model and sidestep the realtor.
Okay.
The one thing I will say though is I don't know why you wouldn't want to bring a realtor in.
Mhm.
Someone who works with people and helping people get into homes that they love every day. That's their business.
Mhm.
We work with realtors. I mean, sorry, I work with builders
Mhm.
every day. And so there's a lot of things that I can tell you. There's a lot of things that I can advise and help you think about, if you're building for the first time,
Mhm.
or even if you are buying your fourth or fifth home,
Mhm.
how long has it been since you went through the process?
Yes.
Right. So I'm doing it every day and I'm working with people at all different phases of life, all different phases of the process. And so my guidance as a buyer, my guidance is free.
Okay.
There's also a misconception that if you walk in and you directly work with the builder, that you may be able to cut some kind of deal or get some of that money back in your
Mhm.
pocket. That's really not the case. Builders expect to be working with realtors, and they've got a marketing budget specifically set aside for realtors. That
Okay.
money doesn't go to you as a homeowner if you don't bring a realtor in. You just no longer have someone representing you.
Ah.
Your realtor is there with only your best interest, at heart and in mind.
Okay. All right. So what I did here say, even if you're buying direct from a builder, it's always good to have a real estate agent representing you just to make sure that all the I's are being dotted, all the T's are being crossed, and you're not being taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a long-winded way to answer that, but
Yeah.
yes. I mean, why
Okay.
not have somebody who their only job is to protect you through the biggest purchase that you've
Yeah.
probably made? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. All right. So once someone has selected a property, the next thing they need to do is they need to go and make an offer and negotiate. So how does that work on the buyer side of the, home purchasing equation?
Yeah, so I mean, that's another place where your realtor comes into play because can
Mhm.
help advise you on the price, let you
Mhm.
know if how that home is priced compared to how homes have sold and the
Yes.
condition of the home. So we decide together what you want to offer
Mhm.
and we make that offer to the seller. The seller can either come back and
Mhm.
counter, or they
Mhm.
can accept your offer, or they can reject your offer. And
Okay.
then from there, and we do talk about there are several points
Mhm.
within a contract that are negotiable, um, and either add or take away from your bottom line, your closing costs, your
Mhm.
time to inspect the home, all of that stuff. So we work just step by step. I have several different things I help give my buyers to help them see all the steps of the
Okay.
process.
All right. So negotiate. You made an offer. Negotiated is accepted. Now it's
hmm
time for the home appraisal. What's this home appraisal process all about?
Okay, so the home appraisal is the appraiser's hired by your lender,
Okay.
who they hire another company. So it's designed to be removed.
Mhm.
So that you're not handpicking your appraiser.
Mhm.
That person then comes in and they just assess the value of the home based on
Mhm.
other homes that have sold that are similar. So if it's in a neighborhood and it's really easy to find comparable homes, it's
Yep.
usually a really straightforward process. Sometimes it's not. If you're purchasing a ranch,
Mhm.
then that is going to be something that is going to take quite a deep dive to
Mhm.
find good comparables. But the appraiser will also want to walk through your home, see
Mhm.
the value, and they usually ask the seller's agent, is there anything special about this home that I'm not going to be able to see with my eyes? Things
Mhm.
that will add value. So you do have a chance as a seller's agent
Mhm.
to kind of advocate for your seller that way.
Okay. All right. So appraisal comes in. Now you have a loan. How much of a down payment do folks need? Let's
Mm,
say a first-time home buyer. I know there's a lot of programs out there, so let's briefly go over all the various programs that
yeah.
are available to home buyers, and then really specifically how it ties to down payment.
So typically, anywhere from 3 to 20%
Mhm.
down is required. And there are, like you mentioned, there's programs out there that can actually help cover
Mhm.
3% down payment assistance programs.
Mhm.
But the real answer is it completely depends on your financial situation. So
Mhm.
the sooner you talk to and consult with a mortgage lender, the better.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
don't have to do that before you meet with me,
Mhm.
but it will be one of the first things we talk about
Mhm.
because we want you to have that conversation and to feel really good about what the numbers actually look like
Mhm.
before we really start to move forward.
Okay, which leads me to the very last question I have around purchasing a home, and what is the difference between pre-qualification and pre-approval when it comes to mortgages?
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of misconception on exactly what the difference is, and one is much better than the other.
Yes. Yeah. So pre-qualified means you talked to the lender. You
Okay.
told them, this is what my income looks like. This is what our assets look like or our liabilities. And they
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, so it sounds like you would probably be comfortable paying this. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a conversation. No information is verified. A
Okay.
pre-approval is you have put in all your information in the application. They
Mm-hmm.
have gone through and verified everything that you've inputted
Mm-hmm.
and run you through a program and given you a real approval that says, yes, we have found these lenders will approve you for this amount
Mm-hmm.
at this rate. And this is what your payment's going to look like. So the pre approval is the only one really with any teeth.
Okay.
Pre qualified is as fluffy as it can be. A
Mm-hmm.
conversation um, you know, is not verified at all. So a lot of times pre-qualified doesn't end up equating equal, to the
Mm-hmm.
pre-approval. It's not the same.
Okay. So basically, pre-approval is good as cash, or almost as good as cash.
Yeah, you know what? It's all cash at the closing table, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to some questions around selling a home. And let's talk about, how do you determine the current market value of a home?
So the first thing that I'm going to do is look at what has sold in this neighborhood. I'm going to look for really comparable homes as far as the age, the condition, and just
Hmm.
kind of deep dive into the data there. And then I
Yep.
want to see your home. I want to walk through it. I want to see, the condition of your home and if I, was really if I did a good job at finding
Hmm.
comparables. And then it depends on what's happening in the market too, how we're going to end up pricing your home. But that's
Okay.
how we get started. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm sure you're asked this question a lot when you're consulting with a seller, and that is, should I make repairs and upgrades before I list my home?
Yeah. I think that's such a good question. And
Hmm.
the answer is it really depends. So
Hmm.
I am not a big fan of let's come in and repaint everything
Hmm.
or any kind of list without actually looking at it. I want to walk through the home and I know what's happening. I know what buyers are looking at. And
Hmm.
so I can help you know where you should spend time and money. The
Hmm.
one thing that I will say is always, if you've got some deferred maintenance,
Hmm.
that's going to be kind of right at the top of the list. If you have a project that when you walk through the home, your eyes see right away, then you probably should take care of that. But otherwise, consult with an agent because
Hmm.
you don't understand and the market has changed. I've seen it change so many times where what buyers want and what they're looking for
Yep.
changes. So what's important to you may not be important to a buyer.
Okay. So we got 12 months in the year. When is generally the best time to list and sell your home?
Yeah. So I get asked this question a ton.
Yeah.
And historically, it's the spring,
Okay.
right? Like there's a week in April that historically is when there's the most activity in the market. But
Mhm.
my real answer is the best time to sell is when it makes sense for you to sell.
Mhm.
So when you're ready to sell, we can sit down and talk about what's happening, how to approach it, how to address it, and how to help you just move forward,
Mhm.
whatever it is that you're wanting to do with the sale of your home.
Okay. All right. So we just came off one of the hottest markets. Things are still a little bit warm, but how are you handling multiple offers when they come in for your clients that are selling their home? What's your process?
Yeah, so my process is as offers come in, I
Mhm.
want to talk to the agent that's sending it in. I want
Yep.
to find out what I can about the buyers and I want to talk to their lender.
Sure.
Um, it's a big deal if I don't get a lender letter with an offer. So
Mhm.
once I evaluate everything and I've just kind of made those touches, then I
Mhm.
have a spreadsheet where everything's going to go in. So you are able to look side by side, apples to apples, at what the offers look like.
Mhm.
Because there are so many ways that you can contribute money by covering the seller's title policy or take money away by asking for the seller to cover everything or give you a home warranty. So, my spreadsheet will show you what you'll net. We'll go through
Mhm.
and check every box and
Mhm.
discuss each offer individually
Mhm.
so that it usually is a very easy decision. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it's splitting hairs. And
Mhm.
that's where the conversations come in, that
Yep.
I've spoken with the lender, that they have been pre-approved and not
Mhm.
qualified, all of those things start to factor in.
Okay. All right. So I know sometimes I get pushback when I ask this question from real estate agents, but people want to know, what is the average commission rate for
Mhm.
real estate agents? How does that work?
Mhm. Well, so I can tell you what the average is, but it's
Mhm.
not set, right?
Okay.
So it's negotiable. What is typical is when you're selling a home, you pay 6% and your
Mhm.
seller agent splits that with the buyer's agent. So it goes
Okay.
3 and 3%.
Okay. Very good. All right.
Yeah.
So last question here, and I'll preface this question, and I know you're not an accountant or an attorney,
Uh,
but people want to know is, all right, I'm selling my home. Do I have to pay capital gains when I sell my home?
So, the easy rule of thumb is if you've been in the home for more than 2 years,
Yep.
or if you lived in the home for at least 2 of the last 5 years, then
Mhm.
yes, then no, you are not going to have to pay capital gains
Okay.
taxes.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so if you're kind of in a weird window where you're not
Mhm.
sure, then I would
Mhm.
say for sure talk to a CPA. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for going over those frequently asked questions, both for buyers and sellers. I just got a couple more questions before we wrap up today. And the first one is, why should someone who's looking to buy or sell their home work with you over your competition in
Mhm.
the market of Argyle and North Lake?
So for such a small area, I will
Yeah.
say we have a ton of agents.
Yeah.
There's so many realtors in our area. You have agents who are mega agents who do
Hmm.
hundreds of deals every year. And then
Hmm.
you've got agents who aren't realtors, they're real estate agents. They do one or two deals a year.
Yeah.
That agent who's doing hundreds of deals a year, they are playing a numbers game.
Yeah.
They are not available to their people. They're not focused on what you need. They're
Hmm.
not going to be answering phones or emails very often. The
Hmm.
person who's only doing one or two a year
Yeah.
isn't active enough to really understand what's happening in the market.
Hmm.
I am right in the middle.
Okay.
I am active. I'm closing deals every month. I'm in the market. I'm working with buyers. I'm working with sellers. So I
Hmm.
understand. I feel like it's important to be doing both too,
Hmm.
because you have to understand what's happening on both sides
Okay.
to really be able to help people. I feel
Hmm.
like, and that's where I am. I'm super focused on my people, not playing
Okay.
a numbers game. I am here to
Hmm.
help. my clients do what they want to do. I want it to be easy and
Hmm.
smooth. I want to take everything off of your shoulders that I can and just
Hmm.
help you do what you want to do and get into the next home, your next phase of life, whatever it is.
Okay. All right. So, how can someone find you if they're looking to buy or sell your home? Where can they find Lori Blad?
Yeah, so I am very available by phone. My phone
Hmm.
number 214 498
Hmm.
7879.
Hmm.
My website, if you want to just look me up, I'm also super active on Instagram. So
Hmm.
my website is Lori Blad Luxury Homes. Wait, yeah, luxuryhomesgroup.com.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I'm here.
All
I'm
right.
so easy to find.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Lori, it's been great having you on the show. Folks, until the next time, make it a great day. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks.
You have been listening to the Local Real Estate Show. If you are a real estate agent, a mortgage broker, or a closing company and would like to be a guest on an upcoming show, please visit thelocalrealestateshow.com for more information. Thanks for listening.